Hi you guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope your Easter was great if you celebrated Easter. And yeah, I'm excited to be in another week with you guys. So today we are going to be drawing chameleons, and the theme for, or the reason behind drawing chameleons is we're going to talk about change and how we are able to adapt to changes that are happening in our life. So I guess discussing both what changes have happened and then how we cope with change and how we adapt and camouflage ourselves per se to meet the new kind of needs of our changing environment. So I need you guys to grab a pencil or something to draw with, and paper and coloring materials, kind of same as usual, and then we'll get started. So grab everything that you need and then we will draw our chameleon together. All right, so you guys can decide whether you want to draw lengthwise or up and down, side to side, whatever you prefer. I'm going to go side to side just because I want my chameleon to be bigger, longer, but there's no right or wrong way, so just whichever one you prefer. Yes, you got your pencil. The first thing we're going to start with is the eyeball. So we're kind of doing like a side profile of the chameleon. So we're going to start on the far side of your paper and kind of work our way to the other side, okay? So you're going to draw the eyeball to start off, and not quite at the very end, but somewhere around here. You're going to do a big circle with a little circle in the middle. Yeah, something kind of like that. And then you're gonna do a line, kind of like following the same half circular shape of your eyeball. You're gonna go over top just half of it, like that. Okay. And then you're going to do a little line coming off this side here. And now we're going to add kind of the mouth front end of his face this way. So we're gonna, if we were pretending to continue this line around, so we go around. Okay, so that's kind of the top of his snout and mouth. And then underneath, you can give him the bottom of his mouth. And then we're just going to continue that line. Let me do it this way because I can't draw upside down. So you got something like that. Now this line here, we're going to continue it into a bit of a smile, so it's kind of like the mouth. So it's going to go like that. And then right on this side of the eye, we're going to add kind of the shape of where the other eye would be. Something like that. Okay, so there's the side profile. We're also going to add a little nostril in there, just kind of just like an oval circular shape. All right, so now we move on to the body. The body for the top is going to be kind of a long, rounded shape on the top, and it's going to come from that where the eyeball is up here. We're going to do a long, rounded, and it's going to come down, and it's going to turn right into the tail, which is very curled. And you can do your tail in whatever kind of shape you want. All right. And don't worry if you make a mistake or if you need to fix anything. That's the beauty about drawing in pencil. Okay, so you've got kind of that arched back, and then it comes down and into a swirl, and then you kind of bring it back around and up to this point. Okay, and this is where we start adding the legs in. To make it easier, we're just going to kind of continue that line straight across. You can give them a bit of a belly if you like, whatever works. Straight across, and then we're going to add the legs in now. And so your back leg might cover up some of your tail, unless you want to make your tail smaller at the bottom. But don't worry, if it covers some of it, we'll just erase it and do it as we go. So the legs kind of come up. Like that. So like I said, if it's covering part of your tail, I'm just going to erase those bits because my foot is in front of it. Something like that. And then same with here. Something like that. I'm going to erase the body behind him. All right, let me turn mine around so I can get a better look at it. So just take your time with that. All right, you can also give your chameleon some stripes along his back. Sometimes they have those like tiger looking stripes. They can be curvy or straight or however you want them to look, and they can go kind of down to his tail. And if you want him standing on a stick, so there's the stripes. And if you want him standing on a branch or a stick of some sort, you can add that in under his feet. And again, just erase the parts that are behind it. If at any point this becomes too confusing, just simplify it. Don't worry about adding anything extra or having things in front or behind. Just don't worry about those things. So this guy kind of looks like he's in a tree. You can add some extra branches on there. See where I'm going with it. You can add some leaves in the background if you like. Or some camouflage spots. Again, make it your own. All right, so once you've got kind of your basic chameleon, wherever he might be, he or she, you guys can now go ahead and color it, decorate it however you like, and then we'll come back and we'll add some things about change in there, okay? All right, so you should have a beautifully colored chameleon. Again, the background kind of stuff is up to you, just depending on how detailed you wanted to go into it. So it can look like this, it can look completely different. These were just kind of guidelines. Okay, so the next thing that I want you to do is I want you to think of a few changes that have kind of happened in your life. These can be over the last week, the last month, the last year. Doesn't matter, it just depends on how far back you want to look. And I want you to write down these changes. Again, they don't have to be a lot, you can just do a couple. But changes that have happened in your life, go ahead and write them down. You can do them each on a leaf or just anywhere on your background, or if you want to do them on your chameleon, that's fine too. Lay it out however you like. But think of some changes that have happened in your life. Go ahead and write them down, and then we'll come back after that. All right, so a few of the things that I wrote down: A, global pandemic, B, not having things like social gatherings being allowed. I also did things that maybe aren't so recent, like getting a puppy who's now 1, so not super recent, but it is a change in my life. And losing some family members of mine. And yeah, so the changes that you guys wrote down, like I said, they can be recent changes or changes that have kind of occurred over the last little while. Again, totally dependent on how you want to do it. But you've got your changes written down. So now I want you to think about how you've adapted to those changes or coped with them. So for example, for the no social gatherings, that's a relatively recent change, at least for the indoor social gatherings. So ways that maybe I have coped or handled those changes has been through outdoor gatherings or through Zoom calls with people or FaceTiming, that kind of stuff. Okay, so go ahead and for each change that you wrote down around your chameleon, just write down a way that you have coped with that change or are coping with that change. And yeah, so go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back. All right, so you guys should have all of the changes or some of the changes that have happened in your lives, and then ways that you have been able to adapt and cope with those changes. Okay, and so those are all examples of way that you can show yourself that you are able to shift when things change. And this prompt is just especially for those people who don't like change, get anxiety about change, and things, especially change that's not under their control. So hopefully this prompt kind of shows you that you are capable of making it through those changes. Life is full of changes and things that we can't control, so it's important to kind of have that chameleon aspect to us where we're able to adapt to the ever-changing environment around us. So when things are changing and you're feeling like it's getting a little out of control, channel your inner chameleon and kind of see what you can do to change with your environment and adapt. Okay, so that is everything for this prompt. Again, yours can look like this or completely different, like all my prompts. They're just suggestions, and you can take them however you like them. Okay, so that is everything for today. I will see you guys again on Friday.